during the hearing of the matter. Number 6, another is made by court, directing the first, that's the police, the second, third, fourth, sixth, and seventh, that's the police, the military, and SSS, and 8 respondents to tender unreserved apology to the applicant, that's me, in 2 national dailies, that's the order of court. Then number 7, the sum of 100 million naira only is awarded to me, that's the applicant, against the Nigerian police, against the SSS, against the Nigerian military, and the 8 respondents, jointly and severally, as general and exemplary damages on compensation for applicant's violation of my fundamental right. Then 8, the sum of 2 million naira only awarded to me against the police, also against the police, against the military, against the SSS, and the 8 respondents, jointly and severally, as cause for filing and prosecuting the suit. This is the judgment of the court. Then the final order. An order is made by the court directing the first, that is Nigerian police, and also the IG, and also the SSS and the DGSSS, and the chief of army staff and the army staff, Nigerian army, and 8 responded to identify all those officers you have seen here, you have seen on this clip, to identify them who participated in carrying out this dastardly act and must be sanctioned or punished accordingly. That is the order of court. So for a better appreciation of the gravity of the heinous activities of these murderers, parading as security agents who have sold their conscience to the devil, it is compelling to reproduce the extract from the judgment of His Lordship on his findings, which is contained on page 32 of the judgment of the erudite jurist of the judgment. The erudite jurist that the judge stated as follows, and I quote in the language of the court. I'm quoting the findings of the court the way the court said it. And please, I will crave your audience to pay attention to this. The court said, and I quote, "Before I conclude, I wish to state that after watching the CCTV camera footage, which I believe should be the mode all of you are into now, exhibit A, which is exhibit A, I ran out of words to express my feelings to what I saw. I couldn't believe what I saw was done by human beings like us and the applicant. In the first place, there was nothing shown why the applicant's house was invaded. Even if he had committed murder, the respondent went too far by taking the law into their hands. The applicant, all the occupants of the house, and the neighbors on 6th day of June 2021 were traumatized psychologically, mentally, socially, and otherwise. Again, the PA lost his life out of overzealous officers' act, who to my mind are not human beings. They are not supposed to be in the service and be given responsibilities. May the soul of the departed rest in perfect peace. No amount of compensation can bring him back to life. The loss or injury suffered cannot be healed forever. It is really very sad and unfortunate. They should be brought to proof. And I close. That's position close. That's the language of the court. The condemnation the court has given to this data's act in his findings. We cannot agree less. The trauma will unarguably live with us and the members of our entire family, including those of my PAs, my slim PAs, and our blooded staff for the rest of our lives. The CCTV footage, which you have just watched, is explicit and compelling. It is interesting to observe that the motive behind this bloody onslaught on my home is clearly to quietly terminate my life with those of anyone seen in my house, and thereafter carefully cover up every traces that will implicate the perpetrators. Otherwise, why would they destroy the CCTV camera at my entrance gate? Why would they murder someone in his sleep? A person who never resisted arrest, as you can see in the footage, and proceed to set his corpse ablaze, principally to cover up any trace. This happened in Nigeria of 21st century. Nobody is asking questions. Nobody has taken action. But it is clear at this point in time that the spirit of late Samuel Okolo, my PA, will continue to haunt every person who directly or indirectly participated in the murderous attack in my home. Amen. Our findings have seen disclosed that one AIG, John Abba, who is still serving today as AIG in the Nigerian police force, was directly involved in the planning and execution of this act in my peaceful home. He was actively involved. I can confirm to the world. And police refused to. I've called him out severally, and police refused to investigate him. If at all they are failing ignorance of what happened in my house, they pretend to know what happened in my house. He commanded the entire operation from the comfort of his office in Abuja. Hence, we hereby challenge the Nigerian police force to investigate AIG John Abba relevant telephone calls and messages between the 5th and 7th of June 2021. When that is done, I can tell you that he will confirm is the one that commanded of that later operation. He commanded it. He sent them after my life. Thank you. So secondly, what are my domestic staff doing the facility of SSS since June 2021 to date? Why have they refused to release the innocent staff? Is it to prevent them from narrating firsthand what they witnessed during the murderous attack in my home, or the ordeal they have suffered in the hands of these monsters? The identities of these monsters are known. They are known, and they must be fished out for appropriate punishment and sanction, as has ordered by His Lordship in His erudite judgment. We ask again, what offense do I commit? That the state is aggressively but clandestinely deploying her security agents to hunt me down at all costs by enemies, simply because I'm a lawyer who is effectively defending the law of IPOB, Master Nnamdi Kanu, and the IPOB worldwide in general. I have not recorded any defeat and loss in any of the IPOB cases I've handled since 2015 to date. I have not. For the records, we have effectively kept the international community and responsible foreign government abreast of prejudice and persecution I've been subjected to in the hands of the Nigerian state, for rendering my professional services to the leader of IPOB and IPOB, who are being persecuted by the Nigerian government for merely exercising their right to self-determination, externally provided for under our laws and relevant international covenants and instruments. Nevertheless, we seize this medium to call on the President of the Federal Government of Nigeria, retired General Muhammad Buhari, and the Attorney General of the Federation to prevail on the Director of SSS to immediately and unconditionally release my domestic staff, still being held illegally in their facility since June 6, 2021 to date, and consequently ensure immediate compliance with all the terms of the judgment already served on them. I will give you copies of acknowledgement of the judgment served on them before you leave. There must be an end to recklessness of the overzealous security agent. There must be an end. As you are all aware, also, the United Nations Working Group recently issued a communication directing the Nigerian government to immediately and unconditionally release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, who has been held in solitary confinement in the facility of SSS since 26th of July 2021 till date. It is to be noted, therefore, that this communication has been served on the federal government of Nigeria, and their compliance is expected, and they must comply with it. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen of the press, we respectfully invite the United Nations, the European Union, the government of the United States of America, United Kingdom, and other foreign governments and Amnesty International, who are all in receipt of our correspondences in respect to the foregoing subject, to prevail on the Nigerian government to ensure immediate compliance, obedience to the judgment of a court of competent jurisdiction delivered in this case, as well as the immediate implementation of United Nations Working Group communication directing for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There must be an end to executive rascality and lawlessness. Finally, I will not end this statement without commending His Lordship